Welcome. In today's video, we're going to be speaking about exclusion. Exclusion is the process of being excluded from something or excluding something from something. Specifically, exclusion in the higher education and training sector. This is when you are in either university or college and you are being excluded. The rules and regulations of being excluded differ from institution to institution. I learned one thing on Facebook that when you are excluded from UJ, you can already see the code saying F1. You know that, okay, I'm excluded. At first, it's a little different. It is a few letters, and before you get excluded, you do get, I think, warnings, or should I call them warnings or notifications? And there is a lot of things that happen leading up to the exclusion. We have two types of exclusions: financial and academic exclusion. You can be excluded in other areas such as misconduct, or different cases where you are misbehaving and you have to be dismissed from the institution. Let us start with academic exclusion. You are academically excluded. It is because you do not meet the minimum, or rather the requirements set for you specifically to proceed with the course that you're doing. You were readmitted to the university, but you were given terms and conditions upon registering to say, if you do not pass so and so at so and so percentage, we will have to cut you off. You'll either be excluded mid-year after the mid-year results are released, or you will be excluded at the end of the year. When you are excluded, you do get a chance to appeal your exclusion. At first, there are two readmission committees, the first one and the second one. When you go for the first one, you basically write a letter, or they'll tell you the terms and conditions that they require of you, and then you submit. And if you are considered, if you are considered, you will be readmitted. If not, you will now be referred to the second readmission committee, where you would have to produce evidence in a meeting that is face-to-face. And after all of that, it's like going to court. The state of your case will be adjourned with a readmission or a final exclusion, never to return. What is academic exclusion? So I'll be reading from my mini book so that I don't miss anything. Academic exclusion is the process by which the university assesses the progress of a student towards the completion of their degree. The standard to which this decision is made is different from faculty to faculty. Exclusion rules are liberal. Rules for exclusion are laid out in the faculty handbooks. How do I know if I have been excluded academically? Should you not meet the minimum requirements to proceed, you will receive a letter informing you of your status. So let's roll it back. In the university, when you register with them, there will always be a faculty in which you fall under. In the university that you register under, there's a faculty that you fall under, which namely they could be health and sciences, engineering and built-in environment, humanities. The rules that govern your specific faculty may be different from other faculties. For an example, you can use the 46-47% rule to say if you have a final mark of 46% in some faculties, you can go and write a supplementary, right? But in some faculties, if you have a 40%, you can go and write a supplementary. In some faculties, even if you have 49%, it is still a fail. They don't allow you to go for supplementary for specific reasons. And another thing is the weight that that specific course holds. That course could carry 6 units or 12 units towards the degree. It will be judged specifically on its value and different factors. When somebody is being excluded, again, they have to go back and return to previous offenses. There are people who have been excluded more than once. That's why when you see with transferring between universities will say they don't allow students who have been academically excluded from other universities to join their universities, because they believe that once you have been academically excluded, the chances of you performing well academically are slim and they don't want to take that risk. If you have been excluded financially, you do have a chance because sometimes it's not in your control. You can have a bursary, the bursary you sign with them an agreement and they end up not paying. Universities have upgraded their rules to protect themselves to say, if the funders don't pay, it is a liability to the student and you have to agree to that, which is sad, but it is what it is. That will affect the direction for financially excluded students when it comes to transferring universities. In university, you have something called an academic record, like a report of your performance. At the end of your academic record, you will see your honors and awards that you have been winning and shining through. And you'll also see beneath it there is a certificate of good conduct. If you haven't been in the best of behavior, there will be a certificate of misconduct. Clearly, bottom where that important information that most universities want when you are transferred, they kind of want to see the certificate of good conduct, but that is where they will write whether or not you were financially or academically excluded. So they'll say maybe a degree or qualification cancelled, suspended, or paused due to financial reasons or academic exclusion. You send out your academic transcript like that, they'll see, okay, this was just a financial exclusion, they just continue with you. Or worst case scenario, you were not financially excluded, you were actually academically excluded, you won't be accepted into those universities because even though your matric results may meet the entry requirements, your prior university experience is stating that you are not at a good mental space to handle university level academic work, which will work against you and deem you incompetent, to say the least.